Hi, I'm Russ.
I'm Kevin.
And we're here with D6 Mafia doing highlights of Theros.
Yeah, so what we're doing in this series of videos is we're just going through each of the colors in Magic's new set Theros and picking out our standout favorites, whatever we like flavorfully, mechanically.
Yeah, cards that might be good, might not be as good, but have really great flavor, or we just like the art.
Yep.
So today we're going to be talking about red. And I think we're going to start off with Anger of the Gods.
Yes, I think we will. This is, well, I mean, it's a good card. It's one of the few with any kind of global board sweep going on in this set at all. The Exile is honestly just gravy, but you know, these red board sweepers that deal 3 damage to each creature, they're pretty much generally strong no matter which format they come out in.
Yeah, it's a good card. I like the art. It's fire raining down on some poor guy hiding under a tree.
Yeah, Noah Bradley, man.
Yeah.
Draws good stuff.
I think it's cool. Next we have Coordinated Assault.
Yeah. So this is the red version of the up to 2 target creatures sort of cycle that we've been looking at. This is honestly one of my favorites in the cycle just because it's cheap, 1 red, and you get +1/+0 and first strike, which can be a total blowout if your opponent's not prepared for that in combat.
Yeah, we were talking about this one before. This one, it's probably arguably the best one. It's that first strike really
I
puts
think
it over for 1 red.
It has the potential for if you have the creatures out and you know the attack is right and everything, it can 2-for-1 your opponent very easily.
Right,
So.
and I mean, and in Boros you've got all those really great heroic creatures and white and some good ones in red as well.
The strength of that cycle is also, of course, triggering the heroic things. That's why it's there. So
yeah, it's really good.
Yep.
Next is the Fanatic. Oh no, we want to talk about the Emperor.
Oh
Ember
yeah. We
Swallower
were going to
first.
talk about Ember Swallower a little bit. So,
so 4/5 for 4.
Which
is
solid
out the gate. That's good.
Yeah, and honestly, one of the few land destruction effects, even if it does hit you too.
Right. Well, that's what makes it kind of stand out. Is that
sort of a global effect. There.
Moving away from anything land destruction.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that Wizards has sort of tagged as an unfun mechanic for gameplay. You know.
Yeah, you don't see land destruction.
Yeah, even
theme decks ever really anymore.
Oh no, never for the official packaged products or anything anymore. Although this guy, funnily enough, is the rare in the red starter deck for the set. So
they're promoting him.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Funny.
Yeah, well, I could see some usefulness. I mean, you got a monstrous at 7, so it's going to take a little bit to make that pop off.
That's a pretty standard cost for the monstrosity from what we've seen. But,
depending what you're playing, if you're playing a little Xenagos, you're playing a little bit of those the hedonists, you can turn those little guys into some dark rituals and
absolutely
get
play
to that 7.
Absolutely play that guy in limited at least.
Yeah,
even just for the 4/5 body for 4.
Yeah, I mean if you can ramp up to it and then lock off and shut your opponent down with stick them with only a couple of lands.
Totally.
And then you're running around with this 7/8 creature.
Yeah. Overall, I don't think he's that exciting. Let's move on.
All right, the Fanatic. Now the Fanatic.
Yes. I think that he can melt some faces. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's got that pertinent Minotaur subtype that means a lot more in this set than it ever has before, which is kind of nice too.
That's true. That's true. Bring out the didgeridoo.
Yeah, I mean, in a mono red thing, you could. I could see him hitting for 4 or 5 damage consistently at least by turn 4, depending on how your permanents are looking. So.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad. 4 at uncommon for 4/2, with an ability to come into play and hit hard.
Yeah, I'm not super excited about the guy, but he's not. If I'm drafting hard red, I'll be picking him up pretty early probably. So
yeah, I think he could be devastating.
Yeah.
Right next to him is the Firedrinker Satyr.
Yeah.
There's a lot of I don't want to say controversy, but there's kind of 2 camps on this guy. There's a lot of hate and a lot of love.
It's the same controversy that comes up every time you talk about Jackal Pup because this guy basically is Jackal Pup with a little more icing on him.
Well, I don't even know if there was that much controversy about Jackal Pup, because Jackal Pup was such a staple card back in, along
I guess so.
with like Mog Fanatic and Mog Flunkies and Curse Scroll and Fire Blast. I mean, that whole like deck series, just saw so much play.
Yeah, maybe this guy's controversy is just more of a product of sort of his.
But I don't know if that
the time he's printed in.
Yeah, I mean he is just a better Jackal Pup, but some people hate him.
Well, it's funny because he is a better Jackal Pup, and people who played back when Jackal Pup was a thing are immediately like, holy crap, better Jackal Pup, this is a big deal. And I feel like people who weren't exposed to that or who have a little different perspective, not so much. And I'm sort of on the fence about him because, well, I feel like there's been some power creep in Magic, and I just don't know if Jackal Pup were to be reprinted and it just said Jackal Pup, of course, that would be but I just wonder if it would even be up to snuff anymore, or if it's sort of been dated now. I don't know.
I mean,
we're seeing plenty of other 2-1s-for-1s with no drawbacks in other colors. I mean, this is the only one red gets in this set.
Yeah.
But, and again, I do keep harping on the importance of 2 power for 1 mana. I mean, that's a big deal if you're playing an aggressive deck. So, I think he's got something there, but it's kind of strange to see how the game has evolved since Jackal Pup was a big thing.
Yeah, it's probably not as key, but I think you could see some constructed. I mean that.
Oh, absolutely.
The red deck wins, the fast burn. Might
absolutely. I would be surprised if we didn't see something using him.
If you can keep things out of his path,
Yeah.
I mean, and then we want to talk about the Flamespeaker Adept.
Yeah. I think she's a ton of fun.
Yeah, cool card.
The 2/0 and first strike when you scry, and there's so many scry effects in this set. It's, and a 2/3 body for 3, not bad either.
Not bad. There's so much scry at instant speed.
Yeah, I almost feel like there's a deck archetype here that can just, because there's enough cards, especially in blue and red, that take advantage of they do stuff when you scry.
Right.
And I feel like there's, slap that unblockable aura on this guy, and it also makes it so that whenever you attack, you scry 1, and then just keep scrying for other things.
Wow, there you go.
And don't steal my deck idea.
No, we'll leave the is it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, there's so many. So many scry effects. I mean, you could even play, stupid Witch's Eye if you wanted to, and just throw it on some junk creature and just.
I wouldn't, but you could.
Pop, yeah, I wouldn't either, but you could.
Yeah,
pop that off every turn.
You could do.
That is a thing you could do for consistent power.
Yeah,
power from the Witch's Eye. Hammer of Porphyros.
Yeah. I like it, but it's probably my least favorite of the god weapons.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's useful, but I would only ever run it for the haste.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's better ways to give your guys haste than this thing.
Yeah, some. I mean,
a lot of them come on creatures and stuff. But anyway.
Is it anger?
Maybe I'm just thinking of goblins, but.
No, I think 3 mana for all your creatures have haste exclusively is basically right where Wizards has been before. You throw in this other ability and it's kind of bonus, but
killing that land for a 3/3 for 3, and you have to kill a land for it.
Yeah. Well, the one thing I will say is I've thought about this a little bit, is that if you're mana flooded, it at least is converting those extra junky mountains into 3/3 creatures that can maybe do something. But I don't know. Compared to some of the other weapons, I think that having to eat up.
Yeah, I mean the importance of haste in an aggressive red deck can't be understated. Red really, really likes that haste.
Totally.
So I won't underestimate that. But man, I just feel like it could be better, and I wanted it to be better.
It could be better.
Yeah, when I knew each god was getting a weapon, I really was just hoping the red one would burn something, or some such. But
mean, think of the flavor. I mean, he's the god of the forge.
He's the forge god, so he's
carries a hammer and
makes
going. So
the flavor makes sense. Not what I was hoping for. We move on.
Labyrinth Champion.
Man, I wish this guy didn't cost 4.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
I think it's
repeatable shock is cool.
I think he's still okay at 4. I definitely have played at least one limited game where.
Then I wish he was 3/3.
Right.
Like,
yeah, I mean but it just. I kid you not, he wrecked my side of the field.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he came out. I didn't have an answer to get rid of him, and next turn it was just.
They had the
it was
heroic
just
triggers for
buff,
him.
buff,
Okay.
and it just was
Yeah,
like,
I
okay,
mean-
your 4/4 is now dead, and that 2/2 is now dead.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
it's the one, and now he's swinging for 6.
I guess he's another one of these heroic guys that just loves ordeals on him and stuff like that. So
I mean,
I suppose he will get bigger more likely than not if you're using him correctly. So
yeah, he'll get bigger, and he'll probably take out. I mean, if you want to just sit there and shock your opponent, that's fine. But I mean, you can decimate their field and then swing with him.
The spot removal is definitely a better use if that's what you can use it for.
I would just say I was surprised. I was surprised at how devastating.
Yeah, I haven't actually gotten to see him in action yet, so maybe he'll surprise me too.
Yeah, all right, move along. We on the. Just Labyrinth Champion, so
we're lost. Where am I?
Ordeal.
Oh, okay. Well, between this and the green one is probably my favorite Ordeal.
Okay.
I just like burning things.
You do like burning things.
I was complaining about it back at the Hammer, and now I'm going to thank this Ordeal for giving me a lightning bolt when it pops.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Solid.
Any Ordeal is great just for the creature pump and the heroic trigger that comes along with it. And I think that this one gives you one of the better pop effects. Just 3 damage. A lightning bolt is good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a free lightning bolt after you get your 3 counters is good. If you can get that creature to survive. And I just point out the art is kind of cool there. You got like a Spartan-like guy fighting, some kind of...
I really like the art on all of the Ordeals because it is sort of just, it's like a hero going through a trial, an ordeal from the gods. I know, what? Flavor and mechanics.
All right, we got Portent of Betrayal.
Yeah, and I think the only reason we really wanted to talk about this one was just because we were observing there's a lot of effects we've seen on cards before and stuff that just in this set that just have scry tacked onto the bottom of them, and a lot of times they cost 1 more mana or something.
Yeah,
and that's kind of cool, especially if you're building a Flamespeaker Adept scry deck or something. I don't know who would do that, but
I will now.
Shh! I told you not to steal my deck idea. Anyway, this is very much another red betrayal card. Normally those cost 2 in a red, but you get the scry 1, so. I don't know. Very solid. Those betrayal effects are always very, very good and limited. So,
yep,
solid card.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely see limited play.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have arrived at the god himself.
On to Porphyros, god of the forge. I like him.
Yeah,
I think he's the strongest god.
Probably, arguably the best god. I mean,
arguably
I definitely have some love for the blue one, but it's just. His abilities are too good.
To me, he's the only god of the bunch that has an ability that says, build around me. I don't think any of the other gods, they're sort of solid. They're sort of more supporty kind of things. They turn into big creatures if you have the devotion and stuff, but he has a mechanic that even when he's in enchantment form, it just says, build a quick deck around me and shock your opponent's faces.
Yeah, I think definitely more so than the other gods. Yeah.
And you can build around the other ones, but I just feel like he's the one that actually tells you to build around.
Hey, I like it when you put creatures in play. You should build a deck where that happens a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, there's all kinds of red quick token generate-y things you can play around.
Well, there's tons of that in red, and then I mean, obviously devotion is best, so mono red is ideal, but you can put in that other color to get any of the other devotion.
I just feel like he's the most useful when he's not a creature, too, in a lot of ways for these gods. So, I don't know.
Well, I mean, he's just when he's just stuck as an enchantment, he's
going to be when he first drops a lot of times. So,
sure.
And then he plays off of that, give me lots of creatures and then let me pump them for 2 in a red, which just sort of is nice little synergy with himself.
Yeah, no, his abilities seem to work really, really well with each other.
I feel more so than what
any
the
of
other gods
ones
are doing, really.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's good, great for him and hard for the other ones.
Bravo,
yeah. Oh, what I was
Porphyros.
going to say is with the other devotion creatures that come into play and drop off a bunch of 1/1s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as a second to throw in a second color with something that does that. Just,
Yeah, oh, totally. There's a lot of possibilities. For
do
him.
some flicker. Yeah, there's all kinds of things you can do with it. Let's see. Now Rageblood Shaman.
Yeah, Minotaur Lord at long last.
No, I think we're excited about this. I'm excited about this guy.
I know you are. Yeah, you were brushing off your didgeridoos and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Minotaurs never been that exciting, but
I actually love that Minotaurs are getting some love.
Right.
In this set.
We saw some over through the Ravnica Bullock, and now we're seeing some more, and I hope that we continue to see more really, really excellent.
Yeah, I'm hoping at least
throughout this next.
Yeah, through the rest of the block.
Next 2 sets.
Absolutely, and it's just solid. 1/1 and trample.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, it's good.
2/3 body, so he's even not shockable, which is more than a lot of lords can say.
It's true. It's true. A little bit tougher.
Yep. So, Minotaur Tribal, do it.
He's great. All right. Now we just.
Oh, you wanted to talk about the Stoneshock Giant.
Yeah,
right?
we just added that. Now it was because we were doing some booster draft the other night.
Yeah. We didn't make it for that, unfortunately, but tell me about it.
Wow.
Oh,
so 5/4 for 5, not shabby.
Uh-huh.
But because it was limited, the games went a little bit longer, and that, even though it's an 8 monstrous, pop off, nobody had flyers on the field. So we were playing 3 players in that particular game. So a little bit different dynamics than 1-on-1. So
right.
I mean, 8's a tough lift. Again,
I don't
for
know.
some
Like
of
all of
that
my experiences with the limited in this is that it's much slower and that monstrous is a very real possibility.
Oh, totally.
And I like it.
Yeah, believable. This is just one of the more expensive monstrous at 8, but man, that blew up, and I did
suddenly
I did the finishing move on both players at once, and I think at least one of them was over 10 life, and I mean it was devastating because now he's huge and no one could block anything I had on the board. It was just like I'm coming over, and I just had to.
He's definitely like he can end games very easily. This guy in limited, especially just.
Yeah, I guess the reason I wanted to bring him up is he sort of surprised me in that he was kind of under the radar, just like, oh, okay, he's a reasonably costed creature, he's at uncommon. Okay, cool. Oh my God, this ability is great.
Oh yeah,
I wasn't planning around it. I wasn't thinking I need this guy because I'm going to try to get to that 8 mana and try to kill everyone at once.
Yeah, I definitely see how that monstrous ability could end games. Absolutely.
Anyway, enough on him.
Yes.
The Stormbreath Dragon, a card that everyone seems excited about. And you should be too.
I'm excited about him just because I think his art is really awesome.
There you go.
I like dragons that breathe lightning or something. Or something. But yeah, he's just a solid dude. I don't know. Like there's a reason that he's mythic, I think.
Yeah.
He just 4/4 for 5, flying, haste, and pertinent protection. All of those pesky white disables and oblivion.
What is he? Is it the Thundermaw? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Thundermaw Hellkite?
Yeah. That's just rotating out.
Yes.
So out of 2013 came out. So he's sort of like.
What do you know? It's another lightning-breathing dragon that does very similar.
For 5 with haste and flying.
Yeah.
I mean, so he's a little weaker.
Yeah,
4/4 versus 5/5.
We're not saying he's a Thundermaw Hellkite or anything, but he does have a very.
He isn't, but he is.
Right.
But he is. With the monstrous ability, but I think what makes this guy awesome more than anything else is pro white.
That pro white is really, really nice.
Yeah.
God, I don't know why, but it seems like white has just been getting removal has become a very big part of white.
It really has.
More so than I remember it being in the past. Just
it's come a long way from swords to plowshares.
Well, we have and we haven't. But
well. Yeah, when that was in white, what do you have? White's coming. What do you have to look out for? You have to look out for swords. Now it's just, O-rings. That was the big one, but there's a lot of other stuff. They've got creatures that come into play in exile. He's just immune to it all. Detention sphere.
No detention spheres. No pacifism effects.
Yeah,
none of that stuff.
None of it.
So
it's
what has become a big removal color, and he's got protection from it, which is great. So
yeah. The other thing I kind of was reading up on him, and wow, I can't think of the card. Gain X life, draw X card, Sphinx's Revelation.
Sphinx's Revelation.
He's kind of an anti-Revelation, a little bit.
I feel like Sphinx's Revelation got so big in the format there for a while that there's been a lot of cards that just kind of hose it coming out.
Yeah.
Like very specific sort of targeted, take Sphinx's Revelation down a notch here and there.
I think that's a better choice than just flat out banning cards.
Yeah, I like that better.
Yeah, if rather than just say you can't play this card, it's just out.
And then just Sphinx's was good, but
yeah,
how weird would it have been if they banned Sphinx's Revelation?
Yeah, I mean it's not
like
it's not broken.
It's not breaking anything. Yeah, it's just really good. So I kind of like that.
Put something out.
It's a little too dominant. Let's just put a few answers to it out there. It's a nice way to sort of shape a format.
Yeah, it's good. It's sort of like the end of if you're doing a red or like a Gruul or Boros, it could be kind of the end of your curve. The last thing, the big thing you want to.
Totally, yeah. But, you don't want to go much higher than 5.
But he's going to come out. He's going to swing right away, and he's going to be hard to get rid of unless you're playing black, I guess, or you're playing with some big burn.
Yeah, big burn in the red mirror match, maybe. But very solid.
Yeah. We'll talk about Titan of Eternal Flame.
Yes, Titan of Eternal Flame, who...
Flavor!
God, he's so flavorful, and other than that, just so mediocre.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a good-sized body on him, but he's...
for 6?
Yeah.
Rare.
Exactly. And we've already seen much better, more efficiently costed guys with pertinent abilities earlier in this color even.
At rare.
Yes. I know. And even at less rarity than him. And just how sad are you when you open this guy in a booster pack? So
I'm pretty sad.
Yeah, I would be too. But I would take a moment to appreciate that he is Prometheus bringing fire to the humans.
Yep.
Even if it does cost you 1 red for each human that you want to use your fire.
Yeah.
Man, I wish it didn't have that mana cost on it.
Right.
Then it would be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think they missed it somewhere here. He's a giant, so okay, you want to have a big body on him. But I don't know, make him 4/4, make him cost 4 or something, with that ability, or take the red out of the cost for it, because it just
there's so many things they could have done, and yeah. But I'll still hats off to the flavor, but
yeah, I don't know. Leave the red, but get rid of the tap requirement. I mean, I guess that makes it so it doesn't matter. Or you could just have 1 human and he could just pow. But
which is probably why they didn't do that. But
yeah,
all
man,
the same.
there's too many.
Yeah, there's too many
side costs.
There's too many not quite goods there. Yeah. Still, dang, I just want to chain him to the rocks and have birds pick at his liver for eternity or something.
Yeah, that's what you do.
It's mythology, people. I
love
love
what
it.
You do.
Yeah.
Titan Strength.
Again, just sort of a great... I don't know, it's a red pump spell, which is awesome. And it scries 1, and it costs 1.
Solid.
I think it's freaking great. Yeah, I think it can hit pretty hard if you throw it on the right guy at the right time.
Just a solid card. Cool art with the
Flamespeaker Adept, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. No, I don't know. Whatever. Unblockable Flamespeaker. 2-headed Cerberus. Not a lot to say about him other than he's been pretty dope in limited.
It's pretty straightforward. I think cheap double strikers have the potential to just wreck shop if you get them in limited. Like this guy with an Ordeal or this guy with a few Titan strengths in your hand, and your opponent is going to have a bad time if they don't have any removal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he's going to take down some big creatures, and he's going to deal some damage. On the way.
Yep. No doubt there.
All right. We've come to the last card.
Last one. Wild Celebrants.
Yes.
Satyrs.
Kind of cool idea for a card. It's a big.
They're partying hard.
They are 5/3 for 5.
Breaking stuff
at common. Yeah.
Yeah.
They it's just fun. Yeah, a bunch of crazy satyrs hopped up on fire, water,
whatever it is that satyrs get hopped up on,
and they're breaking all your artifacts.
Yeah, I like it. It's solid. It's it's got decent power for how much you're paying for it. It destroys an artifact. It's very limited playable.
Yeah.
I would not play it outside of limited, probably.
No.
There are better choices.
It's no Uktabi, but...
No.
But I like it. Yeah, and at common, I can't complain about it.
Yeah, the fact that it's common is a pretty big deal for the limited environment, especially. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you got?
I think that's all I have for red.
Cool.
So yeah.
All right. This is been our highlights of Theros Red. I'm Russ.
I'm Kevin.
Thanks for watching.